Hello, I'm D-Rex. This is Uncle Dogmatica. We're from Pyromaniac.com. We're here to deliver our second ever video mailbag. This week's question comes from Maurice Wasserman in Boston, Massachusetts, and it goes something like this. I've heard playing rookies as a position is fun. Should my league try this? I've got a lot of thoughts on this, but we'll let Uncle D start. What do you think, man?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I've been doing a bunch of different leagues for 10, 15 years now, and I would have to say my favorite league actually does use rookie as a position. It's a whole lot of fun, and it changes the game quite a bit.
Yeah. It's fun. I don't do as many leagues as most people. I know a ton of people out there like to be in like 6 different leagues. I really only do one, and I've been in the same league for years. And we've been doing the rookie. I'd say we're on about year 15 now,
yep.
And it's just a lot more fun. It just brings a different wrinkle to the game. So
well, you know, it does. It changes the way that you draft. It changes the way the game is played. You know, I mean, once you start drafting rookies, you start to understand just how valuable they could be. Sometimes they end up going as early as like the 2nd round. You see someone like a Peyton Manning coming out, they end up, you know, going in the 1st round. You want that top rookie on your team. It really changes things up that way.
Absolutely. You know, the thing that we want to make clear here is that this rookie, it's not having, you have to play it as a position. So it's QB, 2 running backs, let's say 3 wide receivers, rookie, tight end, kicker. So it's actually a must-start position. It's not having to play a rookie in the wide receiver position. You can play any rookie, doesn't matter. So just wanted to make that clear. But yeah, it's you know, you're right. You mentioned Peyton Manning. The year he comes out, the guy who drafts him is psyched. You know, in 1998, Manning had 26 TDs.
Yep.
He had you know, 3,700 passing yards. If you take that guy, you know, and he probably went in the 1st round in our draft that year. He's going to really help you out. You're starting 2 quarterbacks on your team, and that's really going to help you win.
Yeah, strangely enough, I think Randy Moss came out that same year, and he put up some insane numbers, like 17 touchdowns, I believe. So yeah, I mean, you get those top rookies.
He had 1,300 yards too, and that was the same year. He was God, those guys, 2 of the best ever at their position. But
well, yeah, you know what? Here's another thing about the rookie position. What it does is that it also gets you into college football. You know, it doesn't just, you know, have you solely concentrating on pro football. You end up starting to watch college football. You start getting into Saturday games. You start understanding the game a little bit more. And you know, everybody talks about the love of the game in college. Once you start watching it, you really get into it a lot, and it helps you with your draft. You get the leg up on the other guys in the league. It really changes things, and with the combine and stuff.
It does give you the edge, and like you mentioned, you know, the combine just happened a couple weekends ago, so this is of the moment. And yeah, if you're playing rookies and you want to win your league, you're going to be paying attention right about now.
Oh, for sure.
You know, the NFL draft is 5 weeks from tonight, I think, and you know, you're going to be paying attention and looking what's going on and what kind of guys are going to give you the best opportunity to win your league. You're sitting there after draft night, and you can look and say, oh, well, you know, this quarterback landed on that team. He's probably going to start no matter what. That guy's going to go high, you know. And when I say high in our leagues, these guys, you know, quarterbacks quarterbacks go in the first couple rounds.
This past year, I mean, Sanchez went in the 2nd round in our league, and I think Stafford went in the 3rd round.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you get guys like that going, and of course, everybody thought Moreno was going to be good. I think he ended up going at the 5th round or something like that. So yeah, it definitely changed things up there.
I mean, you're putting a lot of pressure on that. You're putting a lot of eggs in that basket when you use a 2nd round draft pick on a guy like Mark Sanchez. You're taking him over, you know, one of the better running backs. You're taking him over, you know, an elite wide receiver at that point. So could you imagine, you know, you're taking, you know, Stafford over a Roddy White or someone like that? You're certainly you're putting a lot into that pick. So
that's true.
It's a feast or famine. There's a lot of risk and reward in that.
Well, I mean, with the rookie being a position, it's just as important as any other position on your team. You know, your quarterback position obviously is really important, but that 2nd running back, same thing as a rookie, you know. So if you take one of those high draft picks, you're not really actually sacrificing getting one of those other guys. It's actually improving your team at that position. And especially with rookie, it's really tough because not many rookies score as well, and you don't know exactly who's going to do it. So it really adds a good flavor to that draft.
That would be my point exactly. It's almost the most important slot on your team because really there's only a handful of awesome rookies every year. Some years there's almost none. So at running back and at wide receiver, during the season, guys can break out of nowhere, and you can pick them up and knock them into your starting lineup. At rookie, you know what you're going to get. So if you don't have a rookie, maybe someone shows up during the season, but the possibilities of that are unlikely. So that's the reason why people go high, and it just brings this awesome dynamic to
that's another thing that actually it adds to your league. It makes trades so much more complex. It makes them so much more fun to happen. Like this last year, I remember Noshawn Moreno got traded for Dallas Clark. And you're thinking, I mean, Clark was obviously one of the best in his position last year with over 1,000 yards and 10 TDs. I mean, that was a sick year, but when you're trading him for Noshawn Moreno, that shows just how much a rookie can do for your team. It makes it a lot more fun. You know, all those different trades that you can come up with rookies involved. It makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, like this year, like you said, Stafford and Sanchez went early in ours. I think Harvin was an 8th rounder in our draft, and he ended up being the highest scoring rookie last year. I think Percy ended up with 130 points or something like that, and so it's kind of weird where an 8th rounder outscored quarterbacks. That usually doesn't happen, but that shows you what a great year Harvin had.
Well, that's another thing is that once you draft these guys, and let's say you win your league and you have Harvin as your starting rookie, you become attached to that guy. You love him for the rest of your life. You know, let's say your rookie did terrible for you. Sometimes you end up hating the guy for the rest of your life. It actually adds a good flavor of just falling in love with certain players. And you can fall in love with guys in college, too. You start watching those guys in college. I remember you fell in love with Crabtree last year. You ended up taking him pretty high. That was a bit of a mistake.
Bit of a mistake. I took Crabtree over a Ray Rice. We thought he'd come around on the bounce, but took Crabtree because we thought he was the last guy that was really going to do something. He obviously didn't play the first 6 weeks, and Ray Rice was awesome. So that was not a good decision, but that whole dynamic just shows you how the flavor that playing rookies in your league can bring to the table. You know, in what you're saying about loving players, I can't tell you how many times I've stuck up for Jake the Snake Plummer over the years. Again, I loved watching him at Arizona State. I thought he was a great player, and then I had him on my team as a rookie. He ended up actually winning me the championship because he, had 15 TDs in 1997. So I loved him, from that moment on. The guy was one of the cornerstones of a championship fantasy team for even when he's sucking it up on Denver years down the road. I love the guy because I always remember that guy brought me a crown.
You know what? There is one thing though that I got to say about this rookie thing that. Some people like tradition. Some people don't like to switch things up, and they love what they're doing in their leagues. If you happen to like what you're doing in your league and you don't want to change it, don't do it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Although, from my perspective, I've been doing this rookie thing for a while, and it really is a lot of fun. So if you want to try something new, if you're running out of things to put into your leagues, just to switch things up, I'd say go ahead and add a rookie to your teams.
Yeah, I'm with it too, and there's just been so many great rookie moments where it's just made it so much more fun. Times like when Anquan Bolden opening week just busted out hardcore and had 217 yards, 10 catches, and 2 TDs. I think that was back in 2003, and anyone who drafted that guy and started him right out of the week one, your rookie wins you a game, and you're like, I got the best rookie, I'm psyched. Nope. So it's just really fun, and another thing that we didn't mention is just the fact that rookie kickers, there's usually a 1, 2, or 3 of them every year, and those guys are guaranteed pretty much. If you're a starting kicker and you're a rookie on a team, I mean, you can get a lot of points.
You get 100+ points.
This year, Suckup had 104 fantasy points. He was the highest scoring rookie kicker. And it's kind of exciting. We've had a guy in our league, an old buddy of ours, listener. He had some of the funniest draft moments ever, where literally the first and second round, this guy's going for a rookie kicker. I mean, when you hear that coming out of someone's mouth, regardless of whether it's a bad pick or a great pick, and it's still funny when someone in the second round is like, I want to take Janikowski, a rookie that's never even played a game, and he's a kicker. When you can think about all the other great players.
I remember one of our guys, Shutt, he ended up taking 2 kickers in like the first 4 rounds.
Yeah, hedging your bet with rookie kickers.
Unreal.
So it's one of those things where, not to beat a dead horse, we advocate it. We think it's a great thing to put into the mix. And if you try it in your league and you think it brings as much to the game